to my YouTube channel, Elliott Wave Principal. I'm your host Shaheen. In today's video, we are going to update our analysis of Forex market. And today's video analysis would include actually Euro, British Pound, Canadian Dollar, Japanese Yen, New Zealand Dollar, and US Dollar itself against the basket of currencies. So let's start. First of all, we have seen an impressive bearish price movement. So the point here is what is expected after this. We can clearly see that we have labeled this as an A, B, and C structure. This structure, impulsive structure downward, where fifth wave is extended wave, is very clear, is very clear in a lot of these markets, and we're going to look at it. I'm labeling this whole price movement as wave 1 and 2. 2 is very deep, but still has not gone beyond the starting point of wave 1, so I'm easily considering it as wave 1 and 2. Wave 3 is here, right over here, and wave 4 here is here. We can clearly see that wave 4 has given us, and after the wave 4 is confirmed, we can clearly see the smaller wave 1 and 2 and 3 right over here somewhere. Actually 3 over here, and 4 and 5. So this is fifth wave. Finally, you can see that it's clearly subdivisible. We can also see that we are approaching the double bottom on a daily time frame. Let's have a look on a daily time frame, and that's double bottom is very important. It's basically indicating that the price movement from the top down is approaching a resistance right over here. So we can see that we are approaching a resistance here as well. Let me move this upward so you guys can actually see it. Here we go. So we can see that we are approaching the resistance here right now. We have completed wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Given that the count, I'm going to say that we are expecting for the correction. But that correction, we shall have some precursor to that correction. We can do that. It's most likely that we're going to see that correction, but we need to see a bullish day right over here. So we need to see a bullish day at this point right now. Elliott Wave analysis is indicating that we have completed the 5-wave structure downward. So let's have a look once again and see what is expected on a movement. Like what's expected on an hourly time frame. Okay. So after we get the confirmation, for example, as the daily reversal, we see a daily bullish reversal right over here, that will be indication that we are bullish on the chart, and I think that shall at least push the prices back in the wave 4 of the previous 5-wave structure, which is right over here. So this is our wave 4, and I'm expecting that shall actually push the prices right over here. This shall take few days, I think, let's say. And if the price movement is really sharp, it might take 2 or 3 days, but I think it's going to take about 4 to 6 days to complete. So we expect it for a good pull up in British Pound and give us an indication. This is actually Euro. Forgive me, I keep on mixing the chart. Most of them are look alike, so I have to look at the top. So I'm expecting a pullback in Euro, but for a confirmation signal, we need a daily reversal candlestick on the bottom right over here. We are approaching a resistance point on the daily time frame over here, and that resistance point is important right over here. Before we can actually further go down, I think we are expected to say a pullback. British Pound is also giving us a similar very clear structure that we have. We have wave 1 and 2 right over here, wave 3. I'm considering this as wave 3, and then A, B, and C, where wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we can clearly see an ABC structure forming an expanded flat, and wave 5 is clearly subdivisible. Wave 1 and 2 right over here, a flat correction, and then we have wave 3 deeper right over here, wave 4, and then wave 5. So we're very close to the completion. One thing that I have forgot to indicate is the trend line. We can definitely combine the wave 4 and 2 trend line, but in this case we can see that this is far away. So what we can do is right now we can combine the trend line of wave 4 and 5 within the wave 5. So since wave 5 is subdivisible, so we can clearly use the trend line of that as also a reversal tool as well. So this is also a good tool. If you don't want to wait for the daily reversal pattern, then this is also a good indication that we are approaching the resistance point right over here, and we are expecting the correction. The correction shall actually take the prices back in this range right over here within, I'm expecting 2 to 6 days maybe. If the price action is really sharp, we can expect the prices to reach in 2 to 3 days. But I'm expecting that this structure is going to be complicated I mean messy. Maybe the first leg is easier right over here, and after that we'll get some messy price action. I'm trying to find an example so I can give you guys, and you guys can actually see what is probably expected. So something like this is possible, that maybe the first leg is really sharp and clear, and then we'll have a correction and a follow through right over here. So something like that is possible in British Pound right over here. And we can see from over here, this is British Pound once again, we can see that we are approaching an historical resistance point here as well. So this is also important. I'm considering that C was a truncated wave right over here right now. So I'm considering this as, or you can consider it as a WXY, because C most likely kind of looks like a zigzag. So we can consider this as a zigzag, X, and another zigzag. So W, X, and Y would be more sensing sensible to say. We have clearly 5-wave structure downward, 5th wave is visible, and we are approaching the resistance point right over here. So I'm going to turn bullish, but I'll wait for confirmation. And two confirmations that we have a diagonal line right over here or the daily reversal candlestick. Let's see, and we are seeing some similar behavior in Canadian dollar as well here. The price structure is very clear. Right now here we are approaching one of the resistance point right over here. We have right now this point resistance point, and the other resistance point is right over here. So we are approaching the resistance point in Canadian dollar as well. We can clearly label it as a 5-wave structure right over here. Wave 1 and 2. We have sharper wave 3 and wave 4, and wave 5 is clearly subdivisible. You guys can clearly see a smaller wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 5 wave. We can definitely use a trend line to get a confirmation of the reversal or the correction. As soon as prices drop below this trend line, that will be an indication that we are expected to see prices drop down that way. So that is quite interesting in Canadian dollar. This pattern is the impulse structure is quite sharply, clearly visible in almost 4, 5, 6 markets that we are looking at right now. Here is the Japanese yen. Japanese yen is a little complicated, and right now a couple of things are possible. First of all, we have clear wave 1 structure, impulsive structure, and a correction. Couple of possibilities that part of the correction is complete here. This is also correction, and then you're going to see prices downward. Other possibility is, if this is the case, then prices should actually come along that way and find a support right over here. That would make it then a wave A, a B, and a C. Other possibility is that we have completed wave 1 and a 2 right over here. In this case, we can bring 2 right over here, and then we can consider this is another impulsive wave, and a corrective wave is expected in that case. If that correction is expected, there is a possibility that we might see a deeper correction somewhere in this range probably, and that correction is expected to be somewhat complex. So maybe a clear leg correction and the second leg. Both possibilities exist. So wave 1 and 2, or wave 1 and A, B, and C. And if that either this is an impulsive or either this is corrective, but I'm expecting that we shall actually right now see a pullback right now. And we can see that the reason I'm expecting a pullback and deeper pullback is that we have seen quite a deeper correction right over here. So alright, this price movement is quite deeper as compared to the other forex market that you're looking at right now. So that's why I'm concerned that when prices comes down back here, we're going to see quite a bit of deep correction right over here. Once again, we can definitely use a trend line right over here, or we can wait for a daily reversal candlestick chart pattern to give us an indication that we are turning downwards. New Zealand dollar is showing a very clear pattern. It's in front of you guys here. It's one of the most clear charts that we have right now within the forex market. We can clearly label it as wave 1 and 2 right over here. We have sharply wave 3 right over here and wave 4, and then we can clearly see wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So wave 5 is subdivisible clearly right over here. If you guys want to make sure 3 is right over here. So wave 5 is clearly subdivisible. Once again, if you want to make sure that you are, we need to see some sort of an indication that we are actually right in our analysis. As far as this particular chart is concerned, we can see that the trend line is kind of covering most of the daily price section right over here. This is the one trend line that's covering the whole impulsive move to the downside, and the other trend line is covering only the 5th wave right over here. So your choice, you want to wait for the daily reversal pattern, you want to see the daily reverse, the break of one of the trend lines, this one or this one. It's up to you, but I'm expecting that we shall be actually seeing a reversal that shall actually take the prices somewhere in this region right over here. Again, 2 to 6 days are expected within the for the correction pattern to complete. This is massive amount of move that we have seen in forex market against US dollar. I mean, US dollar has gone stronger against these currencies, and these currencies have turned weaker. So massive weakness in these currencies. A pullback is due right now. Let's see when that actually happens. US dollar itself is showing an impulsive behavior on the upside right here. Once again, wave 2, I'm labeling this as wave 2, and wave 2 has not gone beyond the starting point of wave 1. So I'm clearly considering it as wave 1 and 2, we have sharper wave 3 and wave 4, and then we have wave 5. So right now, wave 5, we cannot see much of a division within wave 5 right over here. We can definitely use trend line. You want to wait for the, another thing, you want to wait for the trend line to be broken. We can definitely use that right over here. It's a pretty good idea. Or we can actually go on a 15-minute chart and see what trend line actually encompasses that. In that case, I think we can actually use this one and right over here, this one. So be really careful. We need to have a daily reversal candlestick before we actually get a confirmation that we are heading downward. Once we see a confirmation, we expect to see price pullback right around this region right over here. We do need to understand that price is approaching historical top right over here, and we are approaching the resistance. So pullback is due. Let's see how long it lasts. And gold is, let me have a look in gold. Gold, I think, is going to right now moving along with the Japanese yen. Stocks, crypto, well, this is one. let's have a look at gold. All right, here it is, and I'm expecting a deeper price movement for gold right now too. We already have seen some kind of reversal, but we have seen this sharper, deeper reversal. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and fifth wave is way. You can say we can definitely call it like that, the whole impulse wave, or whatever you want to call it right now. I think this has fallen quite a bit right now within the angles. We are approaching the resistance angle as well, so I think the pullback is due, and that shall actually follow Japanese yen. So let's see what happens. We do not have a clear 5-wave structure within the gold price that we have. So let's see how it happens. Does it actually follow the euro or not? Euro is expected to gain strength, and I'm expecting that gold is expected to give us a chance to go short too as well. Right now, I'm out of the gold market. I'm out of the euro and British pound market too. I'm going to wait for the pullback, but I wanted to post this analysis. Once again, I think it will be a better idea to wait for a daily reversal candlestick before we can actually say with higher confidence that we are actually pulling backward right now. Wish you good luck with your trading. Have a good one, and bye-bye.